Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be doing fraction addition with different denominators. So if you notice in this problem, the first one, now when we're adding the two fractions together, we don't have the same denominator anymore. So we have 1/2 and 1/4. So since we know how to add fractions with the same denominator, the key here is to change one of the fractions so that they both end up having the same denominator, and then from then on we know how to add them together. So we're going to do lots of writing equivalent fractions in order to make the denominators the same. So the general rule is that we make the fraction with the lower denominator into we make an equivalent fraction so that the lower denominator catches up to the fraction with the higher denominator. We can't do it the other way around. So for example, if we were to rewrite 1/2 with a denominator of 4, we would rewrite it as 2/4, because we multiply 2 by 2 to get 4, so we multiply the top also by 2 and we get 2/4, and then rewrite 1/4. This is the correct way to do it. We wouldn't be able to do the other way, as in make 1/4 1/2, because we can't divide the numerator of 1/4 anymore to make it 1/2. So that's impossible. So we do it the other direction. So now since we have this equivalent fraction, this still equals 1/2, but it just has a denominator of 4. They have the same denominator now, so we're going to add them together. So 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, and we carry it over the denominator, and our answer is 3/4. Now we're going to try the next problem. We have 1/4 plus 3/8. We're going to change 1/4 into a fraction with a denominator of 8. So we start by putting 8, and since 4 times 2 is equal to 8, we're going to do, I'll actually write this, 4 times 2. So we have to do 1 times 2. And so the numerator of this equivalent fraction is equal to 2. And then we carry over the 3 plus 8, and now we can add because they have the same denominator. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and then 8 goes on the bottom, so our answer is 5/8. Now let's try the same thing, except now we have two mixed fractions. So our first step is we don't have to worry about the whole numbers, but since we're looking at the fractions, we see that we should be converting 1/5 into a fraction with a denominator of 10. So what we're going to do is rewrite the 3, and then in order to make it a denominator of 10, we multiply 5 by 2, and so we multiply the top by 2 as well. So the numerator of the new fraction actually is 2, and then we can rewrite 2 3/10, so that when we add them together, we first add the whole numbers, which is 5, and then we add the fractions. So 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and our base is still 10. And if you look at this, you can simplify this even further, because 5/10, if you divide both top and bottom, if you divide both top and bottom by 5, you can simplify even further, and our final answer will actually be 5 1/2. That is how to add fractions with different denominators. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.